The human brain is wired for connection, approval, and reward. Throughout history, our survival and well-being have depended on our ability to belong to groups, seek validation from others, and respond to cues of acceptance or rejection. In ancient times, being excluded from the tribe could mean death, while being valued and accepted meant safety and shared resources. Fast forward to the digital age, and those same mechanisms that once kept us alive now interact with a new force: social media. Platforms like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter have become modern-day arenas where approval is measured in likes, shares, and comments. What seems like harmless interaction on the surface is, in reality, an intricate dance between technology and the brain's reward system. This dance can lead to patterns that mirror addiction, pulling us back to our screens over and over again. When someone posts a photo, video, or even a simple status update, there is often an immediate sense of anticipation. Will people like it? Will anyone comment? Will the number of hearts or thumbs up rise quickly, or will there be silence? That very moment of waiting creates tension, a small but powerful uncertainty that the brain wants to resolve. Sure, neuroscientists have shown that this is the kind of uncertainty that fuels dopamine release, the brain chemical heavily associated with motivation, reward, and pleasure. Dopamine is not just about pleasure itself. It is more about anticipation and the drive to seek a reward. So every time you wonder whether someone will like your post, your brain is subtly primed with a dose of dopamine, making you more likely to check and recheck your notifications. This cycle has been carefully studied and even engineered by the creators of social media platforms. The like button is not just a convenient feature. It is one of the most powerful psychological tools ever implemented on a global scale. The human brain craves social validation, and likes serve as digital tokens of approval. Each notification is like a small signal telling you are accepted, you are noticed, you are valued. So, over time, the repetition of this cycle can create compulsive behaviors. Just as a slot machine player pulls the lever to see if they've won, social media users refresh their feeds to check if someone has acknowledged them. What makes it even more powerful is that the rewards are inconsistent. Sometimes a post receives a flood of likes, and other times it barely gets noticed. This unpredictability is known in psychology as a variable ratio reinforcement, one of the most effective ways to keep behavior persistent. In fact, the same principle is used in gambling machines. You never know when the next reward is coming, but the possibility that it could arrive at any moment keeps you hooked. This is why people keep returning to their apps, sometimes dozens or even hundreds of times a day. Our brains are not only reacting to the quantity of likes, but also to the social meaning behind them. If a close friend, a crush, or someone influential likes a post, the reward feels even greater. This taps into deeper layers of our social brain, areas involved in social hierarchy, bonding, and self-esteem. Positive reinforcement from the right people can light up the brain's reward centers even more intensely, creating a loop where users begin tailoring their behavior to maximize approval. Over time, the drive shifts from authentic self-expression to calculated posting strategies, sharing what is most likely to gain validation rather than what feels most genuine. But what is happening at a neurological level that makes likes so addictive? Research using brain imaging techniques has shown that receiving likes activates the nucleus accumbens, a central hub in the brain's reward circuit. This is the same region that lights up when people experience pleasurable stimuli like eating delicious food, winning money, or even taking addictive substances. Social validation in the form of digital likes is processed as a reward of similar magnitude, at least in terms of neural activity. Furthermore, adolescents and young adults whose brains are still developing show heightened sensitivity in these reward areas. This means that younger users may be especially vulnerable to the addictive qualities of social media. Add to this the fact that social media is designed to be always accessible. Unlike traditional sources of reward, which might require effort, planning, or resources, the gratification of a like is only a tap away. This instant availability magnifies its addictive potential. Whenever boredom strikes or stress builds, the brain quickly learns that checking social media offers a potential escape and a chance for reward. Soon, the behavior becomes automatic. Phone out, App open, refresh feed. Each repetition strengthens neural pathways, forming habits that are difficult to break. Another dimension of this cycle is the comparison trap. Humans naturally compare themselves to others as a way of gauging status, progress, and belonging. On social media, where people usually showcase the highlights of their lives, the comparisons can be overwhelming. If someone's post receives more likes than yours, it can spark feelings of inadequacy. If you see peers traveling, celebrating achievements, or presenting idealized versions of themselves, your brain interprets this as a kind of social competition. The lack of likes on your own post may then feel like a form of social rejection, which activates pain centers in the brain. Studies have shown that social rejection activates the anterior cingulate cortex, the same region involved in processing physical pain. In other words, being ignored online can literally hurt. The cycle of reward and pain creates a roller coaster of emotions that ties people more tightly to their screens. One moment you feel elated from receiving validation, and the next you feel inadequate from comparing yourself to others. This up and down cycle is emotionally exhausting, yet it drives further engagement because the brain constantly seeks resolution, comfort, or the next high. Social media companies are aware of these psychological mechanisms. They intentionally design their platforms to maximize user engagement by exploiting the brain's vulnerabilities. Infinite scrolling keeps you searching for more content without end. Notification badges are bright and eye-catching, pulling your attention back to the app. Algorithms are engineered to feed you content that sparks strong emotions, ensuring you keep scrolling. Every element of the design plays into the psychology of addiction, turning social media from a tool into a trap. It is important to note that the addiction to likes is not simply a personal failing or a lack of willpower. It is a natural response of the human brain to systems that are deliberately built to capture and hold attention. Recognizing this helps shift the blame away from individuals and toward the larger structures that exploit human psychology. Still, awareness alone is not always enough. Many people understand the addictive nature of social media, but continue to use it compulsively because the pull is deeply ingrained in their neural circuits. The effects of this cycle go beyond just individual behavior. Constant exposure to social media and the addiction to likes can shape identity, self-esteem, and even social norms. People may begin to measure their worth based on digital approval, leading to anxiety, depression, or feelings of emptiness when likes are scarce. Others may chase validation so intensely that they engage in risky behaviors just to capture attention online. The pressure to perform for likes can distort authenticity and encourage superficial connections over meaningful relationships. At the same time, the addictive pull of likes can interfere with concentration, productivity, and mental health. Notifications interrupt focus, fragmenting attention into short bursts. Instead of being present in real-life interactions, people may find themselves constantly checking their phones. Over time, this behavior can rewire the brain to crave quick hits of dopamine rather than the deeper satisfaction of long-term goals. Psychologists worry that this shift may affect motivation, patience, and the ability to tolerate boredom, all crucial skills for well-being and success in life. Yet, the story is not entirely negative. The same mechanisms that make likes addictive can also be harnessed for positive outcomes. Social media has the potential to spread awareness, build supportive communities, and provide encouragement in ways that were never before possible. For example, people struggling with isolation can find validation and connection online that they might not receive in their offline lives. Likes and supportive comments can provide a sense of belonging that genuinely improves mental health. The challenge lies in finding balance, using social media as a tool rather than allowing it to use us.